capacity strengthening is at the core of any organization's dreams, and it helps them to achieve the objectives and their missions and visions. And so it starts from within. They have to first realize what gaps they have in terms of skills, systems, policies and structures, and even their own leadership, for them to be able to improve, to address the issues that they need to do in the society very effectively and efficiently within the time frame that they've put in place.
As an organization like Child Space now, we are facing inconsistent resource mobilization. Somebody who is dedicated or just employed for that job, that is not there, and that is a big threat for us. Two, we are also depending on volunteers. I want to see we're having staff, kind of, people we can say, okay, we have this individual for the next 2 years, okay? So for me, that is something that we still are having, lagging behind. But I'm sure with all these capacity development intentions and the support from the CRVPF, really, given time, we'll get somewhere.
The shared case study gives me the impression of the gaps that others have thought about before, and others have never been very conscious as to identifying and working towards. So this, I think, is a good opportunity for me to be able to revamp and more so be able to inject the right kind of aspects into my organization and of course into our cluster in general.
Like now the financial management, you see, the outline of how it should work and what are the failures when you're working in it. What is the strategic outline? How do you have your staff in the finances arranged? And also apart from that, how do you keep your documents and to come out to be a good financial statement that you can actually forward somewhere else and be able to be helped as far as finances to a donor are concerned.
We think that the case study is tremendous in introducing them to what actually happens in most organizations. We have already received feedback that the case studies that they received resonates quite effectively and efficiently with their own organizations. So it gives them that introductory perspective on some of the gaps and even strengths that organizations have in various, at various levels, because some organizations have been strengthened previously, or they have different levels of strength. Some don't have quite a lot of strength in certain areas. So those case studies were to introduce them to what kinds of strengths and opportunities that organizations can come across when it comes to building their capacity.
This workshop is very much relevant to organizations, especially to young organizations like us, because when you step back and try to analyze in a different setup how your organization is run, how organization is, it kind of gives you like a different perspective on what you're doing right and what should be strengthened and what is your strength. So we should have more often this kind of meeting so that we can review and see the milestones that we have achieved.
There's a lot that we have been doing on organizational levels, and to me what I've found out is there's a lot that we do not know. There's a lot that we are not actually implementing and could be very important, could be really a guidance to us to be able to get even donors.
Unless the engine is properly fixed, which are the systems, then whatever work we do may not last long. Sustainability can never be realized with a failing system. So the need to have an uptight kind of a system that functions properly will ease in our work, will open more doors for us, and of course will increase our credibility as an organization as well.
Our hope is that every participant of the workshop has improved their knowledge on what capacity strengthening is, and they've embraced and appreciated what the importance of capacity strengthening is in their various organizations, so that they can be able to conduct the activities better, achieve the objectives better, and even consider the next steps on what they're meant to do in their own organizations, because it doesn't stop here. From the workshop, we have taken them through a very vigorous and participatory learning process, and we hope that they will also take in the initiative to develop their organization's strength in various ways.
Haya, facilitators wapewe.